Happy holidays to all. My name is GlitchWitch.JPG. I make videos about internet horror, analog horror, digital horror, creepypastas, ARGs, internet urban legends, and sometimes survival horror, which usually just means Silent Hill, and I'm very late on my Silent Hill 2 video. I am sorry to all my survival horror divas. I've just kind of been in a groove with internet horror, and Silent Hill 2, I'm trying to do the remake. My second playthrough, and I just have not had time to really, the first playthrough I loved. It's so good. I will say 10 out of 10, I love that game. I think it's a perfect remake. It makes me so deeply sad, though, that I have been scared to go back. I'm about halfway through my replay, so that's a January problem for me. But anyway, today, I thought, there's not a better way to celebrate the holiday season than by doing what I did for the last major holiday, which was Halloween. Sorry to Thanksgiving. I did technically record that creepypasta video with my dad over Thanksgiving, so you can call that a Thanksgiving video. But the thing I think I need to start doing for all major holidays, reading creepypasta fan fiction. For Halloween, I read a collection of very zany Jeff the Killer fan fictions. Had a lot of fun doing it. Y'all seem to have a lot of fun watching it, so I thought, why not find some good old creepypasta Christmas fan fictions and see what's out there, right? If you do not celebrate Christmas, totally chill, totally fine. Welcome all faiths or lack thereof on GlitchWitch.JPG. I may appear Christian in a lot of my videos because my typical background, I have my Christmas background right now. My typical background is very Catholic coded, but I just think it's neat. I don't actually practice it. The room that I record in, this is the same room that I'm sitting in right now that I usually record in. It's just on the other side. I call this room the chapel. This chair I'm sitting in is actually from a Baptist church. I like to keep it real Christian around here without all the yucky stuff, just the pretty stuff. But today it's all sorts of creepypastas. It's a lot of creepypasta X reader, nothing graphic. We keep it T-rated on my channel as far as fanfiction is concerned, because I don't need clips of me saying crazy ass shit out there on the internet, nor will YouTube allow me to. So we keep it pretty PG-13 at most around here. The Harry Styles one last time, with Harry Styles of Jeff the Killer, I think that was about as graphic as it got. So I don't even think we're going that far today. Today seems pretty tame. I have not actually read these, I have just skimmed. So we have some generic, like, creepypasta X-reader, like, imagines almost for how your creepypasta boyfriend would treat you on Christmas. We have a very long Jeff the Killer X Laughing Jack that I think I'm probably only going to read like the first 1 or 2 chapters to, because it's like 11 chapters long. As an added bonus, we have some Christmas themed 2-second horror stories, including really an all-timer. And I'm sure some of you already know which one I'm talking about. I had forgotten about this and about this entire subgenre of 2-second horror stories. I'm just going to get it out of the way. I'm just going to read it first because I think it'll be a good place to start. It almost feels like Christmas, except I've got no eggnog. Thankfully, I can just milk some more from my creature. If you are not aware of r/2sentence horror, this is not explicitly creepypasta linked. It's just a tangent, and I think that it counts because so much of creepypasta comes from Reddit. 2-sentence horror challenges the very creative writers of the internet to take 2 sentences to tell a horror story. It's very akin to the whole, like, Hemingway being challenged to write the saddest short story, For Sale, Baby Shoes Never Worn. That idea, but applied to horror. And some of them are good. Most of them are not. Now, milking the creature is an ongoing thing on r/2sentence horror. This is just a Christmas flavor. The eggnog creature, if you will. I'm not sure who started it. Like I said, I don't think that the Christmas creature is the original milking creature off of 2-sentence horror. There are 2 others I've found. The family enjoys their milk at the table. Little do they know it was harvested from my creature. And then there's also, I ran out of ketchup, so I went down to the basement. The creature whimpered. He knows it's time for another milking session. That one horrifies me the most. The thought of, like, a ketchup creature is nasty. I have to say, Mr. Eggnog creature is probably my favorite. I don't even like eggnog. I don't like milk. That's a GlitchWitch fact for you all. I'm not lactose intolerant. I just think milk's nasty. I don't drink milk in my coffee. Back when I was taking care of myself, I used almond milk. Now I use International Delight Creamers. Creamer Nation, where you at? If you know, you know. This is gonna be a great video. So, I don't like most dairy. I don't like most cheeses except for melted mozzarella in an appropriate situation. I hate yogurt. Yogurt's evil. Cottage cheese, cream cheese, don't like any of it. I like ice cream. That's it. I'm not a dairy person. So keep these creatures away from me. The creatures should flock to me because I will not imprison them for their sweet, sweet milk. They can just be my friend. We can just hang out. So that was just to tease a taste of 2-sentence horror. I'll sprinkle them in throughout. But why don't we start off let me first say, maybe if you're watching this you don't know what a fanfiction is. I don't know how you got here if you don't know what a fanfiction is, because I am a woman on YouTube talking about creepypasta. Like, you chose to be here. Fanfiction, if you're not aware, is very similar to creepypasta, honestly. It is stories that people write about their favorite movie, TV, video game, creepypasta, anime, whatever characters, often shipping them with each other or with, like, a reader insert. So, for example, last time when I read Jeff the Killer fanfiction, the pairings were, like, it was, like, not really Jeff the Killer x Slenderman. They were kind of, like, hanging out, because fanfiction doesn't have to be smut. A lot of fanfiction is smut, but not all of it. But we had Jeff the Killer x Harry Styles, which to many would be considered a crack ship, meaning it's just insane and batshit. And today we have a lot more X-Reader, which X-Reader is a whole different ballpark where you essentially insert yourself into the story. The author will say, like, in place whenever there's your name's supposed to be said, they'll say Y/N for your name. I've admitted it before on this channel. I have read X-Reader fanfiction, namely the 2 big evil ones for me are V from Devil May Cry and Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3. I'm a simple woman, and I'm not ashamed. But anyway, some people think that X-Reader is cringy. I get it, because I like it, so I also think it's cringy. And I've seen that there's a whole new thing of the young kids do self-shipping, which is like picking your favorite character and being like, well, I ship myself with this character, which is fine. I have no issue with that. But then they, like, say they don't interact with, like, do not interact with me if you also ship yourself with that character. And it's like, baby girl, he's not real, diva. Why don't you share? Like, go, that's your friend. The other person that's shipping themselves with Sans from Undertale. Oh, man. That was scary. I said Sans from Undertale and my microphone was pushed by me. It wasn't a ghost. But, like, that's your best friend in the whole world. Y'all get each other on, like, a deep level. So this is where my age is showing, and I don't know what the difference between, like, consuming X-Reader fanfiction and self-shipping is. If you want to explain it to me in the comments below, I want to learn. Teach grandma a lesson. But anyway, today we're dealing mostly with X-Reader fanfictions. Nothing graphic, like I said, we're keeping it T for teen. And we also have a Jeff the Killer and Laughing Jack pairing, which is an interesting pairing. I don't see that a lot. Usually, I see Jeff the Killer and Slender Man. Jeff the Killer and Ben Drowned is huge, and Jeff the Killer and Toby I see a lot as well, but Laughing Jack is a different choice, so that's why I was genuinely intrigued. But let's start off. There are 2 major fanfiction websites, 3 really, but Archive of Our Own, which is my personal favorite, and I think most adults who read fanfiction like AO3. Wattpad is another big one. I'm scared of it. It's where a lot of the crazy-ass Harry Styles fanfiction that got adapted into, like, feature-length films came from. And then there's fanfiction.net, which I just forget about her. I'm sorry. If you love fanfiction.net, explain to me why, because I don't get it. I'm not scared of it like I am Wattpad. But I don't get, like, it just, there's nothing. I feel nothing when I think of it. But anyway, today we're Wattpad heavy. Last time I was AO3 heavy because I prefer it. But for this type of, I say this lovingly, slop, we must go to Wattpad. So first we have Creepypasta Boyfriend Scenarios, Christmas, written by Cupcakes_300. Do I have a year for this? I don't know if they say when things were published. I am seeing comments from as far back as 8 years ago, so I assume that's when this was written, was 8 years ago, which, 2016? Yeah, that makes sense for creepypasta fanfiction. I missed all this. I was in college. So, Christmas, Slender Man. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the creepypastas and how they would, be spending Christmas with you. It's like Imagines. If you're not familiar, Imagines are a subset of fanfiction where you would, like, imagine a scenario with your favorite character. Again, Mr. Harold Styles was a big victim of Imagines. But anyway, let's start out with Slender Man. He was busy outside putting up lights while you were setting up the tree. A loud ding was heard through the house and you gasped. You ran quickly to the oven and took out the burning tray full of cookies and set them on the counter to cool off. You walked back to the tree and finished putting garland and lights on it. You held the angel/star. You can't see it, but I have a star on this tree. I'm too short, so you can't see the top of the tree. How am I ever gonna get up there, you thought. And it's your choice if you want to imagine yourself as I'm reading this talking to Slender Man, or me. You can also imagine me romancing Slender Man. I'll allow it. Slender came up behind you and lifted you up to the top of the tree. You laughed and placed the angel/star on the tip of the tree. He lowered you down and planted a kiss, and you planted a kiss on his cheek. I was about to say, how could he kiss you? He has no mouth, but I understand, I just misread it. Thanks, you giggled. He smiled and nodded. How? You walked into the kitchen to find half the cookies eaten. Jeff! You screamed. Y'all are living, are you in a throuple? Am I in a throuple with Jeff the Killer and Slender Man? No, we're probably at Slender Mansion where all the creepypastas live, or at the club where all the creepypastas go. If you've watched my Jeff the Killer fanfiction video, you will know that club. His eyes widened even more and he ran outside and you chased him around with a metal spoon. He stopped after he finally ran out of breath and you passed out behind him. Let's never do that again, he mumbled. Agreed, you whispered weakly. You walked in with Jeff and saw Slender baking more cookies. You didn't have to do that, you told Slender. He shrugged. Now, before I finish this, I have to warn the newcomers. I have a Slender Man voice that I created last time, and I'm bringing it back, baby. So if you are alarmed by my Slender Man voice, too bad. Didn't want to get you into more trouble, he said. You smiled and grabbed a cookie, kissing Slender also. No one got gifts because everyone opened them before Christmas. Okay, we're moving on to Jeff the Killer now. You were sitting on the floor laughing your ass off. Jeff somehow got himself wrapped in all the Christmas lights and is now struggling to set himself free. I'm glad you're enjoying this, But I could use a little more help, he growled. No, this is just too funny, you laughed. You took your phone out and snapped a picture. Sending that to everyone. They're gonna love this one, you mumbled. Jeff somehow got himself out and managed to be behind you. He tackled you and took your phone. Joe, give it back, you screeched. He shook his head, placing a hand on your head and watching you struggle to hit him and grab your phone. He took a picture of it and sent it to everyone. You monster, you growled. He smiled and walked to the kitchen, grabbing a glass of eggnog. From the creature, of course. You huffed and sat on the counter. Hey, Jeff, Merry Christmas, you said while tossing a present at his face. Ow, he said in pain. He grabbed the present and unwrapped it. It, of course, was some new knives. Knives, excuse me. He smiled and hugged you. Thanks, babe, he mumbled into your neck. You kissed his cheek and he gave you a present. It was a necklace. You hugged him and laughed. How did you manage to get stuck in lights, though? You laughed. Ugh, he groaned. Okay, Eyeless Jack. The pinnacle of Christmas romance, Eyeless Jack. He's gonna want your kidney, diva. Run. You really didn't have enough money to buy a huge gift for Eyeless. Bitch, why would you call him Eyeless and not Jack? His name is Jack. You thought you were the worst girlfriend in the world. Your boyfriend steals kidneys. You are not the worst girlfriend in the world. Or I guess I am not the worst girlfriend in the world because my boyfriend steals kidneys. And you decided to just make something for him instead. Only because... I'm sorry, I read ahead. I'm a very fast reader. So sometimes I read ahead while I'm reading, and there's something coming up that caught me off guard. Okay. Only because the best gifts come from the heart, right? You went out and bought a jar and decorated it with little kidney stickers you made and little eyeless masks also made by you. Ugh, I did my best, you mumbled. You placed a little figurine of you and EJ. That's better. That's better than eyeless. On the lid of the jar holding hands. It looked cute, but you didn't know if he'd like it. You wrapped it up tightly and hid it under your bed. You walked downstairs and saw EJ passed out by the tree, hugging a present close to his chest. You tapped him a couple times and he woke up. Hey, beautiful, Merry Christmas, he mumbled. You smiled and hugged him. He sighed and handed you a gift. Your eyes widened and you opened the gift. It happened to be a photo album full of all the cool and silly adventures you guys have had. Stealing people's kidneys? You laughed and smiled at each one. Thank you, EJ. This is the best gift I've ever gotten. You whispered and kissed his cheek. You told him to stay on the couch while you get him his gift. You grabbed the jar from under your bed and walked downstairs with it. You showed it to EJ and he unwrapped it. He smiled and looked at you. This was the most work someone has ever put into a gift for me, he said. Thank you, he said happily. He tackle-hugged you and you both fell on the floor laughing. I don't know if the it's not Fluttershy, excuse me. I don't know if the Rainbow Dash jar had happened yet, but why did you just give him a jar with kidney stickers on it? I don't know. And what are the silly adventures of cutting people's kidneys open? Okay. Masky, which I believe is one of the Slenderman proxies. My Slenderman lore is not up to date. I think he's Marble Hornets, isn't he? Yeah. Which one is he? It's Tim from Marble Hornets. You didn't really do much for Christmas except make cheesecake. You wanted to do more, but things didn't work out. All the lights you bought burned out, all the cookies you made were disgusting, the garland was whipped to shreds, and the tree was missing. You barely had enough money for gifts, either. You took the cheesecake out of the oven and smiled. It had a Christmas tree on it, and Masky smiled. Thought I could cheer you up a bit, he mumbled. Thanks, Masky. You're the best, you said. You all took slices of cheesecake and sat in the living room watching movies all night. You cuddled until you both fell asleep. Little did you know that all the creepypastas set the wreckage up so you two would have a special time together. Hoodie. Okay, that's another Marble Hornets. Which one is this? That's Brian. See, I've said it before. I'm gonna watch all of Marble Hornets this winter. Oh my god, it was amazing. Everything was just as it was supposed to be. The tree was set up with multiple candy canes, ornaments, garland, lights, and a angel/star. On the tip of the tree, cookies were set neatly on the table with glasses of eggnog. From the creature, of course. And chocolate kisses, too. There were gifts sitting under the tree and everything. You were so happy, and Tackle hugged Teddy. Thank you so much, OMG. You flipped out. He laughed and hugged you. No problem. I mean, it wasn't that hard. All I needed to do was lock Jeff up in a closet for like 5 hours. I think he'll be fine. Possibly, he mumbled. You laughed and decided not to set Jeff free. Let me out, was heard throughout the night. Ben drowned now. Of course, this was always expected. Why can't he even do one simple thing you asked? You pulled his ear and dropped the video game and got pulled to the kitchen. Now I asked you to make some cookies, and you're gonna make some cookies. Don't you dare glitch yourself out of this one, because I will find you and I will kill you, you yelled loudly. He whimpered and cowered. I don't know what to do for Ben drowned, bitch. What kind of voice do you? You're so scary when you're angry, he whispered. You slammed the door shut and locked it. You were so upset because he always does that. You saw the rest of the creepypastas with scared eyes. You huffed and looked away. Whatever. He deserved it, you mumbled, walking upstairs, and the creepypastas jumped off the stairs, mainly off the sides. You giggled and shut the door until Ben finished the cookies, which he didn't. He stayed there playing games. He can't make cookies, but he can do it in a game. He always finds a loophole. So, the thing I love about when Ben drowned is characterized as like, all he does is play video games. It's like, well, he's trapped in one. He's a dead kid trapped in a video game. What do you want him to do? What do you want from him? I think that maybe y'all should break up because I think it's not working out. All he wants to do is play video games and he's not going to listen to you. So just go date Slenderman or something. I also love that the creepypastas are scared of a human woman. Or man. So we're ending there because the next one is Jeff the Killer's little brother Lou, and I don't feel like dealing with that. So palate cleanser in between. We have some 2-sentence horror stories. This one, I think was written as a joke because it evokes a meme that I love. You'll see when I read it, but let me go ahead and read it. Christmas. I kill my family on Christmas. Just a week away. So I think this is purposely bad, and evokes the Christmas, just a week away. I can't believe it. I love that video. I hope that diva has a good Christmas this year. But it made me giggle enough that I had to include it, because Christmas, I kill my family on Christmas, is funny. We have, my 5-year-old son threw his Christmas present against the wall and screamed that he wanted a PS5. We stood there with our mouths hanging open, staring at the lifeless body of his newborn sister lying crumpled on the ground. You know they were thinking they were spitting fire when they wrote that. This is the one that made me want to do this part of the video. Dad, it's time for you to open your Christmas presents, I said jokingly. My smile turned to horror as his urn levitated and floated towards the tree. I love that. I think that's funny. I'm going to stop for now. I'm going to go back to a different Creepypasta X-Rated Christmas scenario, okay? So we're going to see some similar characters, but different scenarios. So this is by Tori Chan is Fab, and let's try to get a date here. Let's see, when is the oldest? The oldest comment is from 5 years ago. So this is probably, do we have dates? No. Okay, we'll see. But we're starting again with Slenderman, the diva. Slendy got you a necklace with a small peachy pearl for a finishing touch. You got him a watch so he can take you on dates on time and not late like he sometimes but always. XD, sorry. You ended up sleeping with him at his place and lied to your mother that you were at a friend's house. But don't worry, your friend got your back. Merry Christmas, darling. I love you very deeply. I love you too, Slendy. Both of you guys shared a kiss for Christmas and went to sleep. Young woman, don't go spend the night at Slenderman's house, please. That's not good. Lying to your mother. Jeff the Killer. It's written that way. I would never choose to say it that way. Jeff got you a bracelet with a knife charm attached to it. You got Jeff a new knife because you broke his last one when he touched something he isn't supposed to touch. He put up mistletoe between you guys. Merry Christmas for me, he said, then kissed you gently. Merry Christmas, you idiot. You both smiled and returned to kissing again. Jeff the Killer is buying gifts for his girlfriends that have to do with his interests, not hers. Red flag, I'm just saying it. Ben drowned. Let's see if he's gonna play video games again. You and Ben decided not to give each other a present to open, but when you went out to buy a gift for only the both of you, which ended up to a new game console and play until it was midnight. Oh, did the author mention that you made Ben dressed up like Santa's elf? You took pictures of him so you can show Jeff. You started to get really sleepy. You yawned loud enough for Ben to pause the game and look at you. I don't remember what my Ben drowned voice was, I'm sorry. Babe, if you're tired, then let's go to sleep, Ben said, and with that you both went to sleep cuddling with each other in bed. That's not really Christmas coded at all, but whatever. Laughing Jack. We didn't get Laughing Jack last time, so I'm excited. LJ was very cheesy with you, so he put up a huge Christmas tree in the middle of his carnival. This Christmas, he was being friendly with people instead of being a killer he is. He invited the town to come to his carnival for games, food, and much more. You are now both on the Ferris wheel. You guys stop on the top. I love going on the Ferris wheel with my killer clown boyfriend. Y/N. GlitchWitch. Merry Christmas, darling. I will always hope we spend our next Christmas together. I love you, he said. I love you too, LJ. Just call him Jack, bitch. You both lean in for a kiss. The kiss lasts a few seconds until you both reach the both of the Ferris wheel. Oh, and go ahead, love. I know you want to slaughter them. I let it pass. All I wanted to be with you, he said. Of course you were disappointed. Wanted to see a showcase for yourself. But your Christmas was perfect because of him. This is the first diva that actually sounds like she's like ready to match the freak of the creepypasta. We got Masky again. I don't like doing Masky and Hoodie because like those are guys, you know? Whatever. No, Masky is not wearing his mask just for you. You made Masky some gingerbread cookies, and some were in hearts, Christmas trees, and stars. And yes, this was his present from you. Masky made you a heart strawberry cheesecake. You eat your present together on the couch watching Netflix. Y/N. GlitchWitch. You have something on your lips, he said. Oh, thanks. Let me get that for you. He kisses you gently and pull away slowly. Tastes good. You blush and keep on watching the TV until you both sleep on the couch. Hoodie. You guys decided to go ice skating. It was beautiful. You guys eat pizza and milkshakes. You were just sitting on the table talking about things until someone put a mistletoe between you guys. You blushed a deep red. So, Hoodie, you know what to do? He lifted his mask up a bit and you both lean in and kiss each other. Merry Christmas, GlitchWitch. He blushed lightly. Okay, that's all of them. Love to see it. That's great. Let's go back to the 2-sentence horror stories. And then I'm going to take a look at this Jeff X Laughing Jack, or LJ, as we know now, and see how far we want to get into this. Probably only do a few chapters, because I don't think anyone wants to hear me read for that long. But back to the 2-sentence horror stories. This story is not good, but the first comment made me laugh, so I'm reading it. I just love Christmas. I got my whole family some gifts. I gave my mom his heart, my sister his head, my grandmother his chest, and my grandfather his limbs. And then underneath the first comment is, which lucky fellow got his wiener? Really makes you think. After an emotionally exhausting week, I can now check hang the stockings with care off my holiday list. Finally able to relax, I blissfully watched as the Stockings family struggled for their last breaths as they hanged above the fireplace. And they all clapped. And then this last one, I love this. I feel seen by this one for not the reason you'll expect. Raised in a strictly religious household, I politely declined when I was offered strong spirits at the holiday party. I realized too late that prayer wasn't a substitute for an antiseptic, as the infection rotted away my tissues into a yellow-green pus. So the reason that I relate to this is I do not drink alcohol, but I do always say isopropyl is my favorite alcohol. Chug, chug, bitch. I do be disinfecting things that don't need to be disinfected because I have medical anxiety. That was all the 2-sentence horror stories I had. If you like that, let me know. I would make a whole video just reading bad 2-sentence horror stories. I think they're delightful. I think it is a sister art form to the creepypasta. It is Vine to like 2-sentence horror stories is the Vine to creepypasta's TikTok, if that makes sense. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you so much in this past lovely year for watching my channel, commenting, supporting, all of that good stuff. I'm excited for what the new year has to hold. Hopefully lots of new, exciting, ooky spooky internet horror wonderfulness. There are several series, analog horror series that I am watching, keeping track of right now that are smaller that I hope to cover in January, February-ish. And of course, you know, there's so many creepypastas in so little time, so I will never stop talking about creepypasta. Thank you so much to my lovely YouTube members. We have the Creepypasta OCs up on the screen, and then in Survival Horror Emo we have E-Rob and So-Called Punk, and in Analog Horror Scary Face we have Kira Coffer. Thank you so much to my members. If you would like to become a YouTube member, there's a little join button next to the subscribe button. But if you want to help me out for free and you want to see a little bit more of this mess, the subscribe button is free. You can click it, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Let me know if you have any favorite creepypasta fan fictions maybe that you read back in the day. I love to read them. They bring me joy. And if you have any favorite 2-sentence horror stories or you want to write your own 2-sentence horror story in the comments below, please, I would love to read them. So have a happy new year. God bless. All that good stuff. You know, hark the herald angels sing, right? We love angels on this channel. We have 8 named Gabriel. He is one of the reasons for the season, because he told the Virgin Mary, hey bitch, you're pregnant. So, think of him. Try not to go on too many Christmas dates with too many creepypastas. I am going to go, the second that I finish recording this, I'm going to get Hallmark on the line and see if we can get a Jeff the Killer, you know, Hallmark movie optioned by next Christmas, starring me. And I don't know who will play Jeff the Killer. Maybe Timothy Chalamet? We'll see. We'll make it work. Crowdfund it with me. Bye.